Well, welcome once again to a video post for my strategies for competitive advantage class, or like the professor calls it, the 5992. Today we'll be talking about innovation. First off, I found it interesting that in both our readings I didn't find a definition for innovation. So here's what a quick Google search gave me. It's the act of making changes in something established, especially by introducing new methods, ideas, or products. One of our readings by Gary Ponciano, he says that the problem of innovation, improvement efforts is rooted in the lack of an innovation strategy. So for that, to achieve his purposes, he proposes an innovation system, which is a coherent set of independent processes and structures that dictates how the company searches for novel problems and solutions, synthesizes ideas into business concepts and product designs, and selects which projects get funded. So for him, this is the innovation system. So also he proposes this that a robust innovation strategy should answer the following questions. So it's just three questions that he wants to be answered. And he says this. He says one of the first question is how will innovation create value for potential customers? And this is very important, right? It's not just about money, but just the value that this will bring to a customer and how this is gonna allow that company or that organization to move forward, to gain more value, whatever that value is for them. Not necessarily money, but it's probably money. So the second question that he says that must be asked is, how will the company capture a share of the value its innovations generate? So it's not just to generate innovation to create value, but how are they going to capture it? Because if you create something that will be copied very easily, then the fight for capturing that value will be very, very vast. So innovation should also account for, okay, we're creating this new thing or this new system or this new idea, but how are we going to capture the value for us? And then the third is what types of innovations will allow the company to create and capture the value, and what resources should each type receive. So with this last question, he opens up this idea that there's different types of innovations, and he proposes 4 of them. In this next slide, we see that he proposes routine innovation, disruptive innovation, radical innovation, and architectural innovation. And really quick, routine, and this one builds up on a company's existing technological competencies and fits with this existing business model. So like the iPhone, right? Like we have the iPhone 1, now we have the iPhone 2000, but it's just that's been like a routine innovation. Like every year you should expect a new iPhone, and people want the new best thing, right? Then disruptive innovation requires a new business model, but not necessarily technological breakthrough, like with Apple. Once again, just like the iPhone, and you have the iPad, and then you have the iWatch, and I don't know what else. Anyways, but all of those things, they use certain things that are not necessarily technological breakthroughs, but they're just different business model. Then we have radical innovation, is the polar opposite of disruptive innovation, right? The challenge here is that it's purely technological. So this is something that's a technological breakthrough. This is radical, and so it'll be, I think, you have to create new markets and all of these things. But anyways, then the last one he proposes is architectural innovation, which combines technological and business model. So this is, I didn't really quite understand this one, but let's continue. So also, then we were asked to look at this matrix here, and to look for examples of companies. So, in this innovation landscape map, like I said, it's divided into these 4 quadrants. So here I found some examples of companies that might fit this, each one of these. So the routine innovation are something like Procter and Gamble. My father-in-law worked for them for actually his whole life. That was his only job. He was an accountant for them in Mexico City, and then he came to the U.S. and so he worked for them. And so this Procter and Gamble continuously improves existing products, like Tide detergent, or and then so they have this very incremental innovations, right? Microsoft regularly updating their software, right? So you had Vista, you had all of this improvements. And then for radical innovation, something like Tesla, right? It introduces an electric vehicle with advanced battery technology. It changes the automotive industry, right? So we have like all kinds of electric cars now. But Tesla's not necessarily pioneering that, but they're like head spearing. Then we have also Apple, also revolutionizing personal technology, right? iPhone, all of these different things. Then we have the disruptive innovation, something like Netflix. I'm not going to talk about that because I talked about it in my previous post. But like Uber, it changed the transformation sector, right, by introducing that ride-sharing platform, challenges traditional taxi services. And then for architectural innovation, I found Amazon. It's like combining e-commerce with the cloud computing services, creating new business model, and leveraging advanced technologies. So those are some of the examples that illustrate companies navigate through different types of innovation and stay competitive, and they drive growth. Then lastly, just very quick, I really like this article on just the simple rules for innovation. The simple rules of this disciplined innovation. And I put this quote here, but actually the first part is mine. So I put, you have to think inside the box. According to the author, constraints aren't the enemy of creativity. They make it more effective. So for him, while constraints can limit possibilities, innovators recognize that constraints can also spur and guide innovation, right? So for him, the role of constraints is attempting to innovate without boundaries can overwhelm people, and with options ignore established practices. So innovation requires these guidelines, these simple rules, and these constraints. I very much enjoyed this article, like it said. I find it interesting with the examples that he gave with Zumba and other examples, just how simple rules can promote effective innovation. So balancing constraints and simple rules provide guidance while leaving ample scope for this discretion and creativity, ensuring that innovations create value by balancing novelty with cost control. And finally, then, simple rules add necessary structure to innovation process, helping organizations avoid extremes of too many or too few constraints, thereby fostering a disciplined yet creative environment for innovation. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I think that's all I have for you. So, thank you.